discipline, tolerance, and production to build a strong and better nation. I say that is the main foundation. So come let us go hand in hand, because this is our land. Come my brother, come my sister, and let us build a nation together.
Come, my brother, come, my sister, and let us build Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique together. This is our home. We have a duty to make it better. You have people who are good at talking. They're good at criticizing. They're good at tearing down stuff. But what we need are nation builders. What we need are transformers, people who would change things for the greater good of the nation, for the greater good of our people. It is easy to criticize. It is easy to condemn. It is easy to go and list a whole pile of stuff that you think is going wrong. But when you ask that same person or that same organization, where are the solutions? What are you proposing? What do you intend to do better? How would you do it better? And then they become muted. I am saying we need to build this place. We need to make this place better for our children and children. I want to encourage the people who are viewing me on Facebook and on YouTube to please share the live. Sharing is caring. And you may underestimate your role. When you share that program, it gives your friends, your colleagues, the opportunity to be a part of the conversation, to be a part of the audience. We reach more people. And let me tell you this, the NNP main program is Talking Points. That's their main program. It used to be the Had Talk program. The NDC's main program, though unofficially, is this program. All right? Yes, it's not called the NDC this and the NDC that, but people know that this program promotes the NDC and promotes the government. All right? But when you look at the statistics of both programs, and it is important because some people may believe that the NDC's PR is X and Y. But I think the NDC message is reaching people. The government's message is reaching people and reaching more people than the NNP with their misinformation, with their lies, with their gossip, with their rumors, right? We are reaching more people than the NNP by far. And I would give you some raw statistics because it is important. For the last 10 programs that the NNP had on their program, their platform, the last 10 programs, remember, this program is carried live on Vibes 101.3 FM and 106.3 FM. We are reaching more people on radio than Real FM, where this other program sometimes is carried. All right? I'm saying we are reaching far more people than them. Real FM is a small radio station up north. Vibes FM is covering nearly everywhere in Grenada. We have upgraded. We've put on new transmitter or transmitters because we set up that other new transmitter in Karaku. So new transmitters, new antennas. It's a new system altogether, modern new system. You can get us easily in your vehicle anywhere at any time. All right. So I'm saying, in terms of radio, we are reaching far, far more people than they are reaching. And in terms of Facebook, so for the last 10 programs on Facebook, the NNP reached 1,600 people. That's the first program in the last 10. 2,400 people as the second. 2,200 people, 2,300 people, 4,700 people, 6,500 people, 4,900 people, 3,800 people, 5,200 people, 3,500 people. That's on Facebook. That is what the people they reach on Facebook. That's the raw numbers. On YouTube, for the same 10 programs, they reached 5,300 people, 4,500 people, 3,800 people, 4,700 people, 6,100 people, 4,300 people, 4,600 people, 4,900 people, 3,500 people, 3,900 people. That's their last 10 programs, right? And if you add both of them together, because they're streaming concurrently, if you add both of them together, Facebook and YouTube, because that's raw data, you would get 6,900 people, 6,900 people, 6,000, 7,000, 9,400 people, 12,600 people, 9,200 people, 8,400 people, 8,700 people, 7,400 people. So that is the numbers that they have been getting for the last 10 programs. When you look at the program that I do, right? And mind you, I am on twice per day. They're on once per day, twice per day. But nevertheless, I chose the last 10 programs that I did. All right. So on Facebook, because I looked at Facebook numbers for them, Facebook, 17,100 people, 11,700 people, 10,000 people, 14,300 people, 11,200 people, 10,900 people, 18,300 people, 17,300 people, 13,300 people, 12,900 people. That's on Facebook. All right. On YouTube, 1,100 people, 2,700 people, 2,200 people, 2,300 people, 2,400 people, 2,300 people, 2,500 people, 2,100, 2,500 people, 2,200. And then you add everything together, Facebook and YouTube, then you have, for me, 18,200 people, 14,400 people, 12,200 people, 16,600 people, 13,600 people, 13,200 people, 20,800 people, 19,400 people, 15,800 people, 15,100 people. And I'm talking about Facebook and YouTube put together. So the NNP, they are no way close in numbers to the programs that I do. One, the radio station that I am on reaches more people than the NNP program, the station that they're on. All right. Then on Facebook and YouTube, when you join both, put two of them together, Facebook and YouTube, you realize that, they are no way close to my numbers. No way close at all. So they are not reaching people. They make you believe that they are, but they are not. And with the zonal meetings, they carry it live. If you look at the numbers for the zonal meetings on Facebook, for the last 5 zonal meetings they had, 1,500 people viewed them on Facebook, 5,100 people, 8,400 people, 3,900 people, 4,500 people. That's on Facebook. On YouTube, 3,500 people, 3,100 people, 3,500 people, 4,600 people, 4,400 people. So for if you add Facebook and YouTube for uh, the zonal meetings, you're looking at 5,000 people. You're looking at 8,200 people. You're looking at 11,900 people. You're looking at 8,500 people. You're looking at 8,900 people. So they're not reaching a lot of people. So you're talking about a population, a voting population of 80 something thousand. I think it is way past that now, right? Can't give you the exact figure, but I can tell you, you're looking at a voting block, and maybe I can look online, and I will be able to get that, All right. I should be able to get that. Right. So if you look online, we should be able to get that. Um, we should be able to get the numbers there as of June the 30th, June the 30th. So we have a total of, and that's June. So we have June, July, August, September, October, right? Um, that's and 4 months. So you can calculate 4 months of new voters. So you have to add to it. So we are 80,000. Let me see, 80,000, just a little above 80,000 registered voters. All right, that's the kind of numbers you're looking at. This is not no small feat. All right, you're looking at above 80,000 people who are registered to vote. And the NNP, they are reaching under 10,000 people with their programs, right? And don't even talk about their zonal meetings. They're reaching under 8,000 people. So while they give you the impression that they are reaching so many people, it's a big laugh, it's a big joke. They're not reaching a lot of people. That is why the bingo bus in Grenville, not many people turned out. That is why the town hall meeting in the United States, in New York, had a very poor turnout. They wanted to use a bigger area in that venue, and they had to reduce it to a very small area to make the crowd look as though you have people in there, because they're fooling themselves. They're thinking that a lot of people are following them when that is not the case. People are not interested in the NNP. And mind you, the NNP has a base of about 25,000 people. All right? That's the base of the NNP. You have people who, from time to time, would vote for them. It depends on the promises they make, it depends on the mood, right? But generally speaking, their base is about 25,000. NDC's base is about 25,000 too. They're pretty much on par. But I am saying to you that NNP is not even able to connect and speak to the majority of their people. And while I know the majority of NNP supporters, they are not lettered, so they are not big on technology, meaning that they don't use social media like the NDC supporters would. See, I'm not naive. I know what's going down. I know the make of the NNP supporters. So they are still into radio, all right? The majority of them. One or two of them would use YouTube and Facebook, right? But still, there are a lot of them who left here, gone overseas, and so on. But I am still saying to you the numbers of the NNP. At their meetings, their zonal meetings, they would boss people to go to those meetings. So don't make them believe, or don't make them make you believe that they have some ground swell of support. No, they boss people. So they take people from St. John, from St. Mark, from St. George North West, and so on, and they bring them to these meetings. So they have one boss or 2 for certain areas. And they go to these meetings. So when they go to Tivoli, for example, it's not the Tivoli people or that the people in the constituency that going out in those meetings, you know. No, you have 1 or 2 people from the area, but they bring in people, and that is why you see in nearly all the meetings, you see people like Lindona there, you see people like Cheryl Williams, you know, you see the same cadre of people at all those meetings. They're up front, the same people, and they bust them around. So these zonal meetings, they cannot tell you whether or not the NNP has support within those different constituencies. But that's their strategy, the optics, perception, because politics is perception. So they put this thing up there, and people say, well, they had a zonal meeting, look at the amount of people. But the 250 people that they have in that zonal meeting, they're actually people from all different places. So it's something that you need to understand. And that is why the bingo bus on the weekend, that is why the town hall meeting in New York bus. Even my event in New York had more people than these people could pull together. My little party that I had in the basement, Karaku basement, had more people than these folks. And I'm talking about I organized this thing within a matter of days. Within a matter of days. All right. So this thing is clear. You know? It's clear. People are not interested in the NNP rant. They're not. And I could give these people a challenge. I could go to New York and organize a town hall event, and I would have way more people than these folks. Way more. You understand the point? I could have any event in New York and have a huge turnout than these folks. So it is clear the writing is on the wall. The writing is on the wall for the NNP. They are living in a bubble, in a different world. They would go on their programs and all they do is condemn and criticize the NDC. They would not talk about the positive things that are happening in agriculture. No, they will not, because they believe if they do that, then they would make the government look good. But a responsible opposition would also applaud the government when they are doing good. I remember telling you about this initiative for women empowerment in agriculture.
Agriculture, Lands, Forestry and Marine Resources has launched an innovative new project aimed at enhancing agricultural production across the country, focusing on vegetable farming, sea moss production, apiculture, and agro-processing led by women. Titled
Because it only tells you where we want to go
and
to.
Climate Smart Agriculture and Food Systems in the Caribbean, the project seeks to empower women and youth to build climate resilience in agriculture. The official launch took place at the Radisson Grenada Beach Resort, attracting a diverse group of agro-processors for an inception workshop. The workshop featured presentations from experts who shared insights on Grenada's vegetable production, the sea moss and apiculture value chains, and various agro-processing opportunities. It aims to build capacity, promote climate-smart technologies, strengthen market linkages, and address gender-related challenges in agriculture. Funded by Canada to the tune of $7.3 million and implemented by the FAO, this initiative is set to run over the next 4 years. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture, Isaac Bagwan, welcomes the support from FAO and Canada for the support to small farmers, women, and youth. He explains the prospective outcomes of the project.
This project seeks to increase the use of climate change technology in agriculture and is well aligned with the current programs being implemented by the government of Grenada. In Grenada, the project will support ongoing initiatives that build capacity of women and youth, such as the production of vegetables under open and protected structures, beekeeping, fisheries, CMOS farming, as well as certain other aspects of agro-processing. Training in production management and the introduction of tools like digital sensors in greenhouse will improve the management of crops. Agro-processors will also have an opportunity to improve their products in consultation with the Grenada Produce Chemist Lab and the Grenada Bureau of Standards. Improving market readiness through improved packaging or bulk purchasing are areas that the project would consider for support.
FAO Sub-Regional Coordinator Dr. Renata Clark explains that the project gives FAO an opportunity to be building on ongoing initiatives in Grenada for women and youth to become efficient actors in the value chain.
Through this project, we can also introduce tools, including renewable energy where possible, and improve production and productivity of women and youth in particular. Through this project, we will be engaging women and youth to build their capacity to produce more efficiently, to work together in farmer organizations for some activities, such as buying inputs like packaging and labeling. Accessing finance is a continuous bottleneck, and our interventions will build the capacity of women and youth to access credit and finance where possible. This work is designed based on country ownership. This is fundamental in the project. We need all value chain actors working together to successfully improve the livelihood of all value chain operators.
This project puts Canada on the path towards further assisting the CARICOM mandate to reduce the food import bill by 25% by 2025. Development Counselor and Head of Cooperation for the Eastern Caribbean for the Canada High Commission is Abichi Asefa.
This project is part of Canada's commitment to support CARICOM's ambitions to increase the resilience of the region's food system to disasters and other shocks, by augmenting domestic food production through climate-smart agricultural practices, and of course reducing dependency on food import. For Canada, the GCIF Caribbean project also represents an important commitment to our own feminist international assistance policy, as the project falls at the intersection between women's rights and empowerment, inclusive growth, and climate action.
By 2028, the initiative hopes to have 4,800 farmers adopting climate-smart practices, 2,400 women and 960 youth receiving training in business modeling and financial planning, 24 investment proposals developed to enhance production and post-harvesting management, 16 agro-processing facilities assessed and upgraded, and 24 value chains strengthened with market-ready products. This project has been implemented in 7 other Caribbean countries.
That's a very good initiative for, for women, women in agriculture. I think it's about, $7.1 million that they're injecting in that project. That's a really good thing for Grenada and you. Heard there the amount of things that will be done during this whole period with this particular project. And then you have, so that's women in agriculture, $7-point-something million. That's easy. And then you have youth in agriculture.
30 young people across the country are scheduled to commence training in 3 fields of agriculture, which includes crop production, livestock, and agro-processing. This is being made possible through the implementation of the Young Entrepreneurs in Agriculture and Agribusiness Project, a 3-year pilot project jointly funded by the Government of Grenada, CARICOM Development Fund, and the Grenada Development Bank. The orientation for this training was held on Tuesday in St. David. Cindy Lewis, project manager, explained this training will assist young people by providing the training and finances to establish or grow their agribusinesses.
It has been in the pipeline for a while, and we are happy that you are here today. This aspect, the project caters for training, and we are happy that this aspect, the orientation of the agriculture entrepreneurship training, kicks off today. After the training, that you will be able to start your own businesses. And we would provide the assistance for you in terms of getting your business plans, and we will also provide funding for you to start your businesses.
Janesta Charles from the National Training Agency says the trainings will support young people who wish to learn more about the fields of agriculture, livestock, and agro-processing.
Here is an opportunity through the Youth in Agriculture project to build capacity for young people in agriculture entrepreneurship, and so to support the sustainability of agriculture in Grenada, Carriacou, and PT Martinique. This program will be implemented using a competency-based approach. And when we speak competency-based education, training, and assessment, we are referring to training that is facilitated by industry experts, a learner-centered approach where the focus is on you building the knowledge, skills, and attitude relevant to agriculture entrepreneurship.
The objective of the program is to increase agricultural production by existing and new farms supported by trained entrepreneurs and certified young agricultural workers. Winston Otley, well-known farmer, was the guest speaker for the orientation. As they undertake training in the various fields, Otley reminded participants that their country comes first.
So our goal must be to produce more than we actually receive. I want us to think of how we can move our country forward. We cannot move it forward by producing only for yourself. Patriotism. So if you love your country, it means that you love your neighbor. You love the people around you. You love the environment. And you will use all the skills, all the opportunities that you have to preserve the environment, preserve the people, grow the people around you. So it's never for you. And let me just say this to us. Anything you give to somebody, I give you one guava plant, it will be multiplied. It can become 1 million plants. And who benefits from it? You say, well, I gave it away. It means that if 1 million people plant a tree, I can go and get one guava. I'll have 1 million guavas. They would give me back one. Whatever you give come back to you many times more.
The training providers include the New Life Organization, NULO, the Produce Chemist Laboratory, and the St. Andrews Development Organization. The project aims to also contribute to reducing poverty in rural communities by increasing opportunities for small-scale agriculture and reducing youth unemployment by expanding commercial agriculture for young people ages 16 to 35. This is a 3-year pilot project with an estimated total cost of US $1.3 million.
Right, so US $1.3 million there. So that's 1.3, that's about what? 3 point something million. All right, 1.3, it's about 3 point something million dollars. So we can add another 3.3 million or so dollars there, just like that. Just like that. So you're looking at 10 million already. So women, it's about 7 point something million. Youth in agriculture, 3 point something million. And then we saw only recently government giving support to the farmers and also the fishers and the folks in livestock and so on. You're talking about good cash going into agriculture.
The majority of it will go back into the land in terms of cultivate, because bale would have destroyed about 95% of my land, so everything would have gone down flat. So the majority of this money will be going back into the land. So I feel good. Know that I received some form of assistance from Beryl, because I never got nothing before and I got a little top up now, so I'm going to use it wisely.
When you work hard and natural disaster destroy some of your work, and a government could see it fit to remunerate farmers, I think it's a very good idea, a blessed idea. I think it's a very good idea.
I would like to thank the government of Grenada for this assistance, this much needed assistance. Right now, this came as a strength. the hurricane passed, and it would have daunted my spirit, daunted a lot of persons' spirit. After looking at the devastation, all you could have done is just shake your head. But this support really is encouraging, and it shows that there is help available if you search for it. So I'm very happy that this assistance was given to myself and a number of other farmers throughout the country. And we will put those inputs back into the land, and we do hope that further assistance is on the way, whether in terms of planting material or other things like that, because as farmers we try, and we do need help at times.
Farmers from the north of the island who were recipients of one-off financial support from government as part of efforts to resuscitate the agriculture sector following the devastation caused by Hurricane Beryl in July. Ministry of Agriculture officials and government ministers traveled throughout the country to hand over the first batch of checks to affected farmers. Over $7 million will be given to hundreds of farmers affected by the hurricane.
Total 19.1 million will be spent. So you have those who collected money through checks, those who got their money in their bank accounts as the farmers and the fishers. So you have a package for the fishermen, the boat owners, those who work on the vessels too, the sea moss farmers, those who are in the agro-processing business, across the board. So you have about $19.1 million, 19.1 million going towards the farmers. So you're looking at almost $30 million right there already going to the farmers, And some is direct cash, in some cases, they're giving them assistance to start their own business, their own agro-processing business. Some instances to just start farming and making money out of it. So the government is injecting a lot of money in the economy through the farmers. Because you see, some people believe you have to build some big concrete structure. And then people say, wow, the economy is booming and things are happening, right? Like major capital projects. But when you connect with the simple people, the ordinary people, and you give them the support, you give them the assistance at that level, the money circulates within the economy. So you're looking at the farmers getting the assistance that they need, right, to bounce back after Hurricane Beryl. That is important. Agriculture is a key pillar as the NDC administration seeks to transform Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. And you can see that. You can see investment in women in agriculture, investment in youth in agriculture, investment in agriculture generally, right? The farm labor program, the fertilizer at concessionary rates, a lot of plants, right, being distributed, the spice replanting program. So many things are happening. Then you have the regularization of land, government lands, people getting regularized so that they can have the land in their name, the title deed in their name. So you have a lot of people living on crown lands, government lands, and the government is now regularizing them, giving them the opportunity, give them a path to own the land, to become the owner of the land with the title. And they're getting the land at very simple cost, very low cost. All right. So there are people who are on crown lands, they build, but they don't have title to it. They don't have title for the land. The government is trying to help them, which is really, really good. So we have to commend the government for that. Really good initiative, if you ask me. And we need to really applaud the government for that. Plenty of things are happening in that area. Then you have the businesses getting assistance from the Grenada Development Bank.
in partnership with the Grenada Development Bank, is rolling out the Beryl Business Reactivation Facility, a strategic initiative designed to aid businesses affected by Hurricane Beryl in Petite Martinique, Carriacou, and the northern parts of Grenada. This EC $25 million facility provides both grants and concessionary loans to support critical business recovery efforts and stimulate economic activity in the affected regions. Administered by the Grenada Development Bank, it aims to fast-track the recovery of local businesses, ensuring that they can resume operations and contribute to the resilience and rebuilding of the economy. The grant component of the Beryl Business Reactivation Facility is designed to assist businesses with debt service payments, covering loan obligations up to March 31st, 2025. It will provide essential relief during the recovery phase, allowing businesses to focus on rebuilding and restoring operations. However, this grant cannot be used for debt consolidation or to settle existing debts. The concessionary loans offered through the facility carry a 1% interest rate and are designed to provide vital support in the following areas: construction support for rebuilding and repairs, capital goods acquisition, such as purchasing essential equipment, and working capital for daily operations. Applicants can access loans up to a maximum of $500,000 with a repayment period of up to 10 years, inclusive of a 1-year grace period to accommodate the rebuilding process. Applications for the Beryl Business Reactivation Facility opened on October 1st, 2024.
Yes, so this is big. You're talking about government putting $25 million in the Grenada Development Bank to assist businesses so that they can bounce back, so they can get a loan slash grant. So part loan, part grant, money that you don't have to pay back and money that you have to pay back from the Grenada Development Bank. So while the NNP is out there giving people the impression that the government is not doing X or not doing Y, but the government is trying to help in so many different ways. So we looked at agriculture, we looked at businesses. Remember, the tax amnesty was given across the board to all taxpayers and those who are running their businesses. Those who have businesses, they got a tax amnesty where they could have clear up all the bad books when it comes to the taxes, paying the taxes and so on, which was really great. The CES program, remember the CES program? Where small and medium-sized businesses got up to $30,000 in grant, money they didn't have to pay back to help them to get back on their feet again. So this government cares about agriculture. This government cares about small and medium-sized businesses. And they're not just talking the talk, but they are walking the walk. And they're injecting a lot of money, a lot of resources in those areas. You look at education, right? In education, we saw free tuition. You have thousands and thousands of young people who are benefiting from the free tuition support at TAMCC and at NULO. Parents don't have to hold their head to get that $810 to pay. The government is paying for them. You have the free hot meal program. 13,000 plus students are benefiting from that every single day. You have the free textbook program that continues. You have the back to school voucher program where they get assistance to buy school supplies, uniform, and so on. Then you have a number of scholarships. In fact, I've never seen such high numbers of people going off to study. Scholarships from the government of Grenada. You have the reintroduction of history, Grenadian history, in our schools, right? Using a Grenadian author, that book written by a Grenadian author. You have the introduction of technical and vocational skills at the primary and secondary school level. You have foreign language being taught at the primary level. So a lot is happening in the education of our nation. You know, there are new schools being built. There are schools that were refurbished, right? This is big. This is big, people. So a lot is happening in education. You have more teachers going to college, going to university, further in their education, getting the assistance that they need so that they would be ahead. Because students are pretty smart these days. So a lot is happening in education. Healthcare, a lot is happening in healthcare. You have more doctors being hired, right? You have a number of doctors who are recently hired. You have nurses getting $500 more on their salary. So that's $6,000 every year. You have doctors getting $1,000 more on their salary. That's $12,000 every year. The government is now working on a new modern teaching hospital facility. The land already secured for that project. You have a number of clinics that were refurbished in recent times. Clinics refurbished and upgraded throughout the island. So quite a bit is happening. Quite a bit is happening, people. In terms of dental care, you have that being set up, the dental aspect of healthcare being set up in different districts. St. David, St. George, St. Andrew, Grove, Carriacou. They're setting up that there so you can go in the district itself and get dental care. Come on, a lot is happening. You see, people would run with the gossip and the misinformation from the NNP, but the government is trying its best. It's not perfect, but they are trying. You look at housing, look at the amount of houses that are being built for people throughout Project 500. Look at the amount of houses they intend to build, low-cost housing. You have the housing schemes that run down over a period of time because of NNP's bad policy. This administration had to come and fix it, renovate it, fix those buildings, right? Because there are people in there that's not paying and they don't care because the NNP put them in there, a lot of them. Then you have Project Build Back Better. Look at the amount of houses they are building. You look at the WASH project or the WASH program. Look at the amount of modern bathroom and toilet facilities that they're building for our people, trying to eradicate pit latrines. So the government is at work. Look at the amount of material assistance given to people to repair their homes, to fix their houses and so on. So a lot is happening in the housing area. And mind you, the NNP abandoned that, If it was not for the Chinese who came in here and built a number of houses, low-income houses, during the NNP time, all right, I could tell you nothing else was going on. So the government itself was never serious about improving the housing stock of the country. This government is doing that. The NDC administration is doing that. They are serious about housing and helping our people, improving the housing stock throughout the country. So a lot is being done in the different areas. You look at public officers, they are way better off now than they were under the NNP. The NDC came into power, they paid the dock salaries to the hardworking teachers and public officers who went out on the streets to demonstrate for their pension and gratuity. The NNP went into their salaries and took their money from them. The NNP administration docked their salaries. The NDC administration paid that back to the hardworking teachers. The pension, people were retiring with no pension at all. No money, no gratuity, no nothing under the NNP. They were not getting their money. NDC came and they paid the pension. $70.1 million. Just like that. The doc salary, $1.2 million. Right? And then the 13% increase in their salaries. Public officers, 13% with all the fringe benefits They didn't have to march in the hot sun for it. They didn't have to fight for it. No, they didn't have to. The NDC administration provided that for them. And that is important. The public officers, right? Then you have the regularization of public officers. Look at the amount of public officers who got regularized. 404 made permanent, right? That they were confirmed in the position. Come on, they have job security now. They have job security now. So a lot is being done for public officers. Look at those who are on contract. The NDC administration is trying to put a new pension in place so they would not retire and go home into poverty, but instead they're going to have a pension coming every month. So this government is at work. This government is at work. You look at youth development. A lot is happening for the young people. The Imani training program is no longer a program where you're getting $700 and $800. You're getting $1,200 as a stipend. $1,200 under the NDC. Then you have the Empower program. Look at the amount of young men who have been enrolled in that program. They're getting assistance to start their own business and training and all kind of stuff, taking them out of the streets and giving them something good to do. So yes, it's a program that started under the previous administration, but this government, they've enhanced it and they continue with it, right? Then you have the youth talk, where you're giving young people the opportunity to come forward and express themselves. Look at the amount of young people who are going to those consultations. You have the youth parliament, where you have to actually vote for these people. Young people have to vote for these young people to represent them at the youth parliament level, which is good, really good, right? Look at creatives. The majority of creatives, they're young people. 100% concession. Training at CC for them. All kind of support for the creatives. A lot of support for them. Young people, given the opportunity. Look at the amount of young people who get scholarships and so on. So a lot is happening for young people. A lot of training opportunities. Look at the amount of young people who got free tuition. These are young people in CC and NULO. Young people, right? And that is why I thought it was right. Someone is trying to reach me. So I'm saying that is why I thought, the NNP going out there and bad talk the government and bad talk the country, that didn't sit well with me, because I believe that the government is they're trying their best to help our people across the board. And that is why the NNP is not getting traction. They're not getting traction with all the things that they're saying, all the things that they putting out there, all the misinformation, all the lies. They're attacking the government on many fronts. But here it is. At the end of the day, if you look at the different demographics, if you look at the government planned approach to helping the people, you will realize that it's structural and strategic. They're actually penetrating where they're supposed to penetrate. They're helping the people, the farmers. They're happy. Public officers, they're happy. I'm not saying that it's a perfect system, but they're happier now than before, right? So a lot is happening. Business owners, they're happier now than before. Look at the amount of people who are cutting bush, the debushing program, who are part of the debushing program. So many gangs out there working. People are working. Thousands of people are working, doing something, even if it's short term, medium term, or long term. I called in Karaku because somebody wanted some workers, right? And people are working. They're either in construction, they're either in fishing, they're either in just doing something, getting stuff done. So people are at work right now. If you look around for carpenters and masons and electricians and plumbers, and it's very hard to find that. Very, very difficult to find that. It's not easy to get a carpenter and a mason now, No. So I am saying again, it is important to understand the reason why the NNP is not getting traction and people are not gravitating towards the message. They are too negative, one, and they have serious infighting within the NNP. I mean, I saw a photo, and that photo tells all about the NNP. I'm telling you, all you need to do is to just look at that photo, and it tells you the state of the NNP. You understand? Just this photo. Look at this photo. Just look at this photo, and it can tell you a million things about the NNP. Peter David is far from Keith Mitchell. Peter David, that's in New York. Peter David with his head down in his phone. Keith Mitchell, taking up his face, angry, angry, angry. But look at the space between Peter David and Keith. Then you have Kate Lewis, usual Kate Lewis, watching at the poll turnout. Look at Dwight Horsford, lost. And then you have Nolan Cox, bending on his head in serious disappointment. That is the true state of the NNP. The NNP becomes an old party, an aged party. In fact, they started off their meeting in New York with a GULP song, right? I will fight with all my might, working for the... That's a GULP song. That's a GULP song. So GULP is a dead party, an old party that died with Uncle Gary in the Center Cemetery. So the NNP is actually on their way there. It is clear that party is on its way there. Could you imagine that? That is what they started off their meeting with, a GULP song. So it's sad because the NNP used to be out there giving people that false idea that, they unbeatable. In fact, Keith Mitchell admitted in New York that they never expected to get that beating at the polls. They were shocked. They never expected that they would be defeated. They thought they were going back in there, right? But I'm saying to you, it is very, very clear. If you go around the country and you speak to people, and yes, we know that the NDC has to continue to improve their PR. I think the PR is improving. It's improving. I gave you some statistics this morning. So you may not see Kijana, for example, the PRO of the NDC out there. You may not see a spokesperson for NDC out there, but I am out here. Kem Jones is out here morning and night, pushing the NDC, pushing the government agenda. On Thursday, you have Speak Out Unfiltered, right? They're actually out there too, educating people on what the government is doing, not just in Carriacou, Petit Martinique, but throughout the island. That's Kim the King and the crew. Good morning, Leo Joseph, my good brother and friend, right? And then you have Eddie Frederick. He's doing his bit on his end too, and kudos to him. And then we have the social media people who are trying their best to educate and publish certain things. Then you have GIS, Jason and the team there. They're doing a fantastic job on GIS, right? Putting stuff out there. So the NDC PR, you may not see a PRO, just as the NNP. You're not seeing the NNP PRO out there doing anything, right? So we have to kind of understand how PR works, right? So the PRO of the NDC is now doing more to share information, to push certain things out there, right? So I am getting stuff regularly from them. And, in other words, they're at work. They're doing more. They're doing more in the last couple of months. They have improved significantly. All right? So I am saying we are in a good place. We have to continue doing more. And I agree. We have to continue doing more. But when you see things happening that's good, you have to commend it. It's happening. The NDC's information is getting out there. The government information is getting out there. We have to continue on that path. So things are happening. It's not that bad. Things are happening. And that is why the NNP is not able to penetrate. That is why the NNP, yes, they have their meeting, yes, they have their this and they have their that, but they are not making a serious impact. They're not getting the turnout. that they needed, that they want. Remember Youth for Change? We had large turnouts at our meetings, larger than this zonal meeting that the NNP is having. So, look, I'm saying to all of us, we need to be happy with the fact that our government continues to work, continues to do things to help people throughout Grenada, Carriacou, and PT Martinique. And we need to support them. We need to encourage them. The NNP will be out there criticizing and condemning. That would not stop. But I can tell you, if you look at the people in the middle, the people who are not NNP and NDC, they're happy with the performance of this government. They are very, very happy with the performance of this government. The only little glitch we have had in recent times is the late payment for some temporary teachers and a few permanent teachers due to what took place in the Ministry of Education, them not doing what they're supposed to do. That's the only little thing that happened in recent times. But everything else is good news. Good news. And you would never find a perfect system. So those things will happen. And mind you, there are people within those different ministries working to sabotage and undermine the government. So we know that. But that has been resolved. Right? But that's the only little thing in recent times. Nothing more. Right? So we should be proud of the NDC, proud of this government, because they're doing the work. And once you have the farmers of your nation happy, and you have your public officers of the nation happy, not all would not be happy, because you could do all you want to do for public officers, there still will be some who would hate you, who dislike you. No matter what you do. You could do all what you want to do for farmers, there are still some who are going to hate you, who are going to dislike you, even if they're benefited. Because there are some people, all they see is party. Party. That's all they see. They're supporting their party and they don't care. But the people in the middle, who not NNP, who not NDC, they are proud. They are happy. They love to see what is happening in this country. All right? The folks in the diaspora, they are happy to see what is happening in Grenada. And thanks to this program, we are able to reach thousands and thousands of people in the diaspora with the right message, with the positive message, highlighting the good things that are happening in Grenada. Do not underestimate this program and its ability to reach the people in the diaspora. They get to know what is happening in Grenada through this program and other programs, but mainly this program. That is why the NNP trying, they went out in New York to have a meeting, and it was a failure, poorly attended. I mean, during Keith Mitchell high, when he came into power in 1995, and then 1999 with all 15 seats, and then 2003 when he lost. But between that period, that first 13 and a half years, every meeting they had out there in the diaspora, it used to be large, huge, well-attended, massive, massive. I could tell you, I know. And then 2013 to 2022, every meeting they had a lot of people because they were in government and so on. Massive, but not now. They cannot even pull a good 150 people in a meeting in New York. You're joking or what? You're mad or what? They cannot even pull that. Huh? In a like a meeting in New York. You talking about in New York, folks? Let me tell you this. We have in New York Grenadians, more than 500,000 Grenadians. And some people may say 1 million plus Grenadians, people living in New York, Grenadians living in New York, right? To be conservative, 500,000 Grenadians. They left here for greener pastures. They make children. So you have first, second, and third generation Grenadians living in New York. And still for all, the NNP cannot organize and mobilize 150 people to come to their meeting. They can't do it, which is sad. You had Peter going up, Keith, Kate, Dwight, Emlyn, Cox. There's about 6 of them. And still, they were not able to mobilize and organize enough people to come to the event, to the town hall meeting. Come on, something is wrong. Something is wrong with the NNP. Something is totally wrong. They cannot even fill an auditorium or area good enough. They can't mobilize that. Something is wrong. Something like a bingo. A bingo. You can't even get people to turn out to win money. You had all these free buses like crazy. They had plenty free buses, you know. Yeah, plenty free buses. I had a photo of it earlier. Plenty free buses, right? I was looking at it a while ago. They had free buses for that bingo, you know. Don't believe that yeah, they have these buses, this bus passing there, that bus passing there, right? Yeah, let me get it for you. I had it somewhere. Yeah, look at it here. St. Patrick, they have this bus. St. Patrick East, St. Patrick West, St. Mark, St. John, St. Andrew East, St. Andrew West, St. Andrew East, Southeast, Southwest, St. David. Look at them with the buses. Northeast, South. Look at them with the buses, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 20, about 20 buses. There are about 20 buses, and still the bingo was poorly attended. So nothing that they are doing is successful. Nothing. Because people are not interested in the NNP anymore. The NDC is not perfect, you know. I'm not saying that, but the NDC is better for Grenada. The NDC is more caring. The NDC administration, they are more caring. The most honorable Deacon Mitchell, he loves people. He cares about people. When you see a prime minister, you know, looking at refurbishing community centers, upgrading playing fields, lighting playing fields. When you see a prime minister trying to, you know, set up playing area, recreational area for the kids, you know, that's what you want.
That's it. That's all.
Are you happy today? I know I have been to St. David for numerous times, especially messages. But today is the most exciting one. We can witness this facility for the children, for the community. So, and when we invest in children, it means we invest in our nation. It funds for several community projects in St. David, and we are continuing to do that. Today I would like to take this occasion to announce that we are going to support the establishment of the proposed music school in St. David next year. We will provide musical instruments, furniture, and other equipment to the music school. and four five, right? Five basketball. One football. I don't have more football.
Thank you very much.
Maybe the kids want to play these sports also. Yeah.
His Excellency said, what is behind us is a practical example of cooperation, friendship, solidarity, and partnership between the government and people of China and the government and people of Grenada. It is about people-people relationship. It is about building our communities from the ground up. And I'm extremely happy and proud of the friendship, the partnership, and the relationship. What we have behind us here is the success of a lot of hard work of a lot of people. And I want to start off by paying attention and recognizing them. And I want to make sure that I have the information. Of course, we have to thank His Excellency for agreeing to fund this play park. One at the Barrett playing field, and then we will have a final one at the Bellevue playing field. So as I said, the total cost is $110,000 US. The contractor who designed and built the play park is Mr. Frank James of Caribbean Welding. So I want to emphasize everything you see here was built by local Grenadian talent. Talked about building play parks and play areas for children. And so we believe in plans and implementing our plans, not making empty promises. So I want to thank again Ambassador and the government and people of China for giving us the opportunity to partner with them to make this dream reality.
Right, so that's the play park, that area there in Las Vegas. And as our beloved Prime Minister said, that can be replicated in the other areas, right? It can be done in the other areas, which is really great. So I really want to big up our beloved Prime Minister and the other constituencies. We want to see a similar thing in the other constituencies. Again, folks, I want to take this opportunity to thank you for being a part of the program. I want to wish you all the best. We are on the right track. Let us continue to promote our party. Let us continue to defend our party, promote our government, and defend our government. And again, I say to you, the party's PR is forever improving. You would not find or see the PRO of the NNP or the NDC out there. But there are people behind the scenes who are working with the PRO to improve the party, to improve the image of the party and the government, all right, to push certain things out there. And I think we have been doing a fantastic job in the last couple of months. We have improved significantly. So let us continue to do what we are doing. We are penetrating where we're supposed to penetrate. I want to wish you all the best. I will be back with you tonight